Yesterday at question time when David Cameron accused the Prime Minister of being afraid of an election. He taunted Mr Brown for saying that going to the voters now would cause chaos.
This morning, the Prime Minister said that a general election would cause chaos. What on earth did he mean?
What would cause chaos is if a Conservative government were elected and caused public spending cuts.
So there we have it. The first admission that he thinks he's going to lose. I know the Prime Minister is frightened of elections.
I'm not going to support a programme of Conservative public spending cuts, but look here, the House has got to have some. The House has got to have some humility about what's happened in these last few days.
But of course we should have an election. Of course we should have an election. But people don't want an election where all you will get is a few new faces with the same old rotten rules.
Well, our political editor, Nick Robinson, is in Westminster. Nick, raucous as ever, but is it fair to say Gordon Brown was caught on the hop over that election thing?
Oh, well, there's no doubt. By simply asking what he meant by chaos, David Cameron did put him on the hop and made him say something that I think he will regret. His real argument is that voters want him to get on with the job of dealing with the problems in the economy and, of course, the problems in that place behind me in Parliament. He ended up looking like he was saying, let's not have an election because I might lose it, and that would form chaos. Now, that will merely fuel the Tory demands for a general election now. They, of course, also damaged by the allegations against MPs, are trying to channel public anger into calls for a general election, and you'll hear David Cameron do that day after day after day.
And what about Hazel Blears, Nick? Her behaviour is unacceptable. She's still in the Cabinet.
Yes, it's a pretty bizarre state of affairs, isn't it? On the one hand, yes, the Prime Minister says she didn't break the rules or didn't break the law, but he used the phrase even stronger than the one you've just quoted. Totally unacceptable, he said yesterday on more than one occasion, and it begs the question, well, in which case, why is she a valued member of your Cabinet? Now, candidly, many people behind the scenes in the Cabinet, many people in Downing Street do not expect Hazel Blears to survive the next reshuffle, which is likely to come in June or July. They expect her to go, but she stands as a symbol, if you like, of the fact that it is not clear when people get chucked out of their jobs and when they don't. It is not enough, people think, for politicians to say, well, they go if they break the rules, because we now know the rules were very, very flexible indeed and very generous to politicians. So there are calls for heads in the Cabinet, there are calls for MPs to resign in all of the major parties as well, and what no one knows really is where this will stop, because guess what, George? Tomorrow the Daily Telegraph are publishing yet more allegations.
All right, Nick, thank you. Two Labour peers have become the first members of the